deliberate practice and purposeful reflection. These are two of the most valuable tools for developing your skills. We looked at deliberate practice in a recent video, but equally important is purposeful reflection. And of course, this is in itself a deliberate activity. In purposeful reflection, we deliberately set aside time to reflect on our recent experiences, the things that have happened in the day or days since we last took time for purposeful reflection. We focus on the things that happened and on understanding why some things did happen and some things didn't happen, why what we expected might have come to pass or why it might not. Wisdom is hard to define, but it's harder still to acquire. A few years ago, I wrote a book called Smart to Wise about that topic of how to acquire wisdom, particularly in a professional workplace. But one of the things I discovered is very clear. Purposeful reflection is a fast track to wisdom. The people whom others regard as wise make a habit of reflecting on their experiences and taking time to really try to understand them. These people reflect systematically. And if you think about it, don't you want to be one of those people that others come to because they see you as wise? Isn't that really what a professional career is all about working towards? If you have a difficult decision to make, if you're looking for inspiration or guidance or advice, you go to people whom you perceive as wise. Ultimately, that's what we're aiming for in our careers, to be that person. So, I recommend you start a systematic practice of purposeful reflection. Each day or several times a week, spend some time deliberately thinking about what has happened in your life and in your professional practice. What decisions did you make? And how did you make them? And with the benefit of hindsight, how good were they? How did those decisions turn out? What events made a difference to how things turned out? And how did they influence things? To what extent could you have anticipated those events? Were there leading indicators that, with the benefit of hindsight, might have tipped you off to what was going to happen? The human brain is a brilliant tool for spotting patterns in large, complex sets of data. One of the purposes of this purposeful reflection is to allow your brain the time to spot all of the different data points and to start to process them and form patterns. And you will not be conscious of it until a sudden inspiration hits you and you suddenly realize something that you hadn't been aware of. It's not always about deliberately learning from these musings. It's about purposefully taking time to reflect so that your unconscious can get to work on those experiences properly. To do it, set aside a good amount of time, half an hour minimum, ideally an hour. All you need is a notebook and pen, or if you like to take notes on an electronic device, that's absolutely fine, but no other distractions. The purpose of this is really to let your brain off the leash, to do its own thing. If you need a memory jogger, have your diary to hand so you can see what you did. That way, you can deliberately work through the different events, the different activities, the different decisions you made. Do it somewhere quiet and private, or at least away from the normal place where you work, somewhere where you will be undisturbed and you feel like you can devote your time fully to the reflective practice. And if you've not done this before, start off with a longer spell. Start a new notebook and reflect on the year so far perhaps, or the last few months. kick off with some deep thinking about what's been going on in your life, and then put into your diary times in each week when you can purposefully reflect and do so in a structured way that forms a habit. When you do this, the habit becomes the important thing. It doesn't matter whether you make a lot of notes or none. It doesn't matter whether you have any great brainwaves or insights, or whether you just have some feeble little thoughts. What matters is that when you direct your attention, it will allow your brain to find patterns. And when it starts to find patterns, it will occasionally find golden nuggets among the rubble. Please do give us a thumbs up if you like this video. There'll be loads more great project management videos to come, so please do subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of it. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.